everybody? Welcome back or to the channel. So today we're just going to do a very simple, quick, and easy upgrade to my 2016 Harley Davidson Street Glide right over here. And what we're going to be doing is upgrading the windshield from the factory 6-inch to a little bit of a taller 10-inch windshield. So let's jump in and I'll show you why. Okay, so if you come over here and look, as you can see here, this is the very light smoked 6-inch windshield. And how you figure that out is you start from your center bolt here, measure up, and as you can see, right at 6 inches. Now, as I'm sure many of you are aware, I'm a taller guy at 6'3". So what happens is when I'm sitting on the bike, you typically want the windshield to be right about nose height so that you can see over it. But when you choose a windshield that's at the correct height, that wind will come up over your head. This one here is a little bit too short for me, so I do get a little bit more wind directly in the face. So if we sit here and look on the bike, okay, and I'm putting you pretty much right up to my view. So as you can see, I can plain as day see over top of the windshield very easily. But I'd say this windshield is closer to like my neck height. I really would like the windshield to be up about here so that I could still see over it and I could technically see through it. But as I'm sure many of you know, you typically are not looking through your windshield. You're actually looking over it and off to the sides. So I do want to go ahead and get this a little bit taller. So let's jump in and I'll show you what I got. Now, you could always go to Harley and order any of these parts. But as I'm sure you already know, the Harley windshields or the other name brand windshields that are out there for Harley Davidsons are well over $100. What I did was I found this one here on eBay. And this one here, I got for around 30 bucks. Now, is there going to be that big of a deal in terms of quality? I don't know. I haven't opened this up yet. But typically, most of these windshields are either going to be some type of an ABS or some type of acrylic. Now, most of the time, if you could see through it, it's probably some type of acrylic because I don't know if you can make ABS transparent or not. But if any of you know the answer to that, please leave it in the comment section. But I'm pretty sure that most of these transparent windshields are acrylic, and most of the acrylic is pretty much going to act the same way. Now, the big difference is going to be, are the cutouts lined up perfectly? Is there a nice finish to the edge? That's going to be the big difference between buying something that's lower cost and something that's higher cost. But you never know. You might luck out and get a good quality part at a lower price. So without further ado, let's get in, get this opened up, and let's take a closer look at it. Okay. Packaged pretty well. Okay, we'll drop that off to the ground. Okay, let's get this tape off. Now, normally I would just use a box cutter, but I don't want to accidentally cut through the foam and put scratches in the windshield before I even get a chance to install it. So I'll just take my time and make sure I get it unraveled. All right, so that's 3 layers of packaging. The first was the plastic bag, the second was foam, the third is a bubble wrap. So let's go ahead and get this out. Okay, and then the fourth is going to be more of a cellophane type plastic. So before we go ahead and take that off, let's go ahead and take a quick look at it. Now this is more of a darker smoked out look, so you can see through it, as you can see right here. Okay, but up close, it's nice and blacked out. So I actually like this look better than the light smoke that you see here. But line that up, it's probably going to sit like that. Okay, so that's pretty much right where I want it. Okay, so I'm not going to take this cellophane off just yet. I want to get the old windshield off first, which is very simple. You're typically just going to take these 3 bolts out here across the front. And then once you loosen those up, now the center bolt is typically going to be longer than the outside bolts, depending on which model year you have. So I'm going to go ahead, loosen up all these bolts, and then we're going to take that off. Okay, just be careful that you don't scratch your finish. I'll take the middle one out last. And again, choosing the right windshield for the height that you need is crucial for your particular body height to get the wind to deflect up over your head. So let's see if we can go ahead and just gently lift this forward a little bit. All right, there we go, took that out. Okay, so taking those bolts out were simple and easy. The windshield popped off, very simple and easy. Just gently pull on the front fairing here just a little bit to give yourself a little clearance. It pops right out. This is what it looks like here. Okay, now I can pretty much line this up right here and tell that it looks like it lines up pretty good with the new fairing. So I'm gonna go ahead and sit this down over here on this foam out of the way, nice and protected. So let's go ahead and unwrap this. Now again, is there anything wrong with going with a Harley part? Absolutely not. But as we all know, the Harley parts are always double or triple the cost of some of these aftermarket parts. Now, if you're the type of person that likes to have everything Harley Davidson branded on your motorcycle, that's perfectly fine. Go ahead and do that. Okay? But me personally, I like to try to find parts that are going to fit my Harley perfectly, but I could get it at a much lower cost, because the more cost savings that I find on some of these aftermarket parts just means I have more money to do more modifications that I want to do to the bike that I might not have had the chance to do because I didn't have the money. Now, I'm not saying you should cheap out on everything. I do feel that there are some parts that you should go through the Harley dealership for, and or go with a part that Harley Davidson recommends. But for the most part, the majority of your other aftermarket parts are perfectly fine. So I'm going to go ahead and slide this on. Now, I'm not going to use the factory bolts, which are right here. Okay, we're going to set them aside because we will be installing the new Kuryakyn spiked bolts. Now, again, you can find these online. Kuryakyn is a fantastic brand. And if you go to any of your parts counters at the Harley dealership, you're probably going to see them pulling this name out of their book a lot. So Kuryakyn's a great product. Again, I've never had a problem with their products. I actually just replaced my extended brake lever here with a Kuryakyn brake extension. And I also just recently upgraded this shifter lever with a Kuryakyn extended lever. So these products are fantastic. So let me go ahead, get these opened up, and I'll show you what they look like. So they come in 3 separate bags. Let's go ahead, take one out. That's what they look like. These things are really cool. And I had some points saved up on this website from other products I've bought over the past year. So I had like 20 bucks to spend in points. So I basically got these for free. So this is what they look like. Okay. And they come with nice washers as well. So let's go ahead and get this thing put back on the bike and see how it turns out. Okay. Let's go ahead and see if we can get this to slide in. Okay. Well, everything kind of lined up, so let's go ahead and get it put on. Put my center one in, put my washer on first. That looks cool. Okay. Yeah, this windshield and these spiked bolts look awesome. Okay, let's go ahead and just give them a little tighten. This is a number 11. Again, I'm not going super tight and crack anything. So again, I'm just going just gently snug. Okay, we're on. Now, I do typically recommend using a little blue Loctite on these bolts here as well, but I will be doing a custom handlebar install in the next couple weeks. So there's really no point in me doing the blue Loctite on these now because I'm gonna have to take all this back off again here in another couple weeks. So I'm just gonna make them hand snug for now, but look how cool that looks. That right there looks super cool. So there you go. You can still see through it, but not quite as transparent as the factory one. So this does have a little bit of a darker smoked tint to it, which I really like. And I like the height. It looks really good with the bike. And I love these black spiked bolts here. They just give it some extra character, which I think is really cool. So let's go ahead, sit on the bike and see what it looks like from a rider's point of view. There we go. So this is what it looks like at my eye level. So as you can see, I could still see completely over it. So I'd say right now, this is right below my nose. So I can see perfectly fine over and around, which is right where it needs to be. And I have plenty of visibility, but it gives me the right amount of protection to protect my face because the air is gonna come up right over my head, which is exactly where I need this to be. And being that this is taller with a darker smoked out look, it does offer a little bit more shade for my instrument panel here because the other one stopped right here. So this one comes up here already. So it does protect my gauges in the stereo here a little bit better. And eventually I will be able to get one of those storage bags that goes right up here. So I can put my phone and keys and so forth up there. But so far, this thing looks really good and I'm super happy with it. And again, being that this was only $30, I just saved myself at least $70 by going with this one here. And the finish around the upper edge, it looks good. It doesn't feel as smooth, but it looks smooth. But how often are you really rubbing your fingers across your windshield? Now, the only thing I did notice is right here at the edge, you can see a little bit of manufacturing plastic that was left over the edge there, and a little bit down here, which again, I could probably just take a box cutter and just kind of chisel that off a little bit and make it look nice and smooth. But other than that, this thing looks perfect. I'm super happy with it. I'm really digging the 10-inch height. Let's check that. So again, go from your middle bolt. You're supposed to go from the center of the bolt. So it's right there at about 10.5 actually. So that right there is a perfect height for me. And again, I'm 6'3", so I recommend that height. So overall, I think it looks fantastic. It makes the bike look a lot better. And I'm really happy with it. So there you go, guys. That's how simple and easy it is to upgrade your front windshield. The quality feels no different than any other windshield. It looks awesome. Again, it's 6'3" tall. That's about a 10 to a 10.5 inch windshield. Fits me right below the nose. Perfect for me. The darker smoked out tint looks awesome in my opinion. I can still see through it, but when you're not looking through it, it has a nice stealthy look to it, which I think looks awesome on the bike. And I can't complain. I'm really happy. So my initial impressions of this eBay windshield, I give it a thumbs up. It's definitely worth $30 in my opinion. So if you're looking for a new windshield, definitely go check it out and I'll put the link in the description. As far as the spiked bolts go from Kuryakyn, also thumbs up. They fit perfectly. They look awesome. They really help complement the smoked out windshield and I think it looks awesome as well. So that's it for today's video. I hope you liked it. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button, like this video. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments section and I'll get back to you as soon as I possibly can. And do me a favor, subscribe to the channel because it definitely helps me out and I greatly appreciate it. There's going to be a ton of mods coming to this bike, so stay tuned. So that's it. I just want to say thank you to each and every one of you. I truly appreciate you all. Thank you for all of the support. And as always, see you in the next video.